Yo, what's going on, guys? For the returners, welcome back to the channel. For the new guys around here, welcome to the Pesky podcast. My name is Robert. This is my, 10-year, 11-year now friend,
Yeah,
Ari.
something like
And
that.
Ari, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you?
Not too bad, just relaxing in quarantine. Fortunately, we already do these podcasts from
Yeah.
1,200 miles away from each other, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
no
yeah.
usual.
Yeah,
But
yeah. It's like we're not going anywhere or anything recording from a studio.
exactly. So if you
Yeah.
guys like this kind of content, we talk about mainly Red Sox, but today we're focusing more on the entire MLB, and things might get a little controversial with our top 20 outfielder lists. I picked mine based more on analysis and numbers. Ari picked his more on opinions. Let us know which list you like more, which list you think is more accurate. Leave those down in the comments below. And while you're down there, chuck us a like and subscribe. So without further ado, Ari, what have you been doing now that we've had no baseball?
There's been a lot of depression. No, man. There are times where I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I look over in the corner and I see all my Red Sox yearbooks and I'm just like, come back.
And
I did kind of
oh,
on a different note, but not really. I saw something where the MLB and like the federal government, I think, or I don't know if this is right or not, but like they're trying to get baseball to come back in the next month or so. So
yeah, I
we
read that
could get
too.
it soon. I don't know. But I've mostly been playing MLB, the show. I got that for my PS4, and I've been playing that a lot. And I've been getting into like rebuilding like franchises and stuff, which has been interesting because I can tell there's. I mean, I started off with like the Orioles, which was almost impossible just because of like their budgetary constraints
Yeah,
and the players they have.
you
But
got to sell super low on Chris Davis if you want any chance on.
oh, I shipped him away real fast. I shipped away a lot of. I mean, like there was just no real talent, even like in the farm systems and stuff.
Hmm.
But I've been doing that. I've been doing a little bit of like MLB or like Road to the Show. Yeah, I've been doing some of that. There have been a lot of changes to the new one, which like I kind of like and I kind of don't, you know.
Hmm.
But
I appreciate a company working to make their game better, and if they're going to make changes, I'm fine with changes, even if they suck, because that
yeah,
means you care. You're still putting time into it. If you
yeah,
look at NBA 2K, which I'm really big into, you
hmm
look at their My League hasn't changed in the past 5 years. They've been
yeah,
doing the same stuff, just with different coats of paint on it each year, and
yeah.
it's we haven't been able to do anything different since 2016.
The big thing this year for MLB 20 was they had like new metrics for the ball movement for like the ball in play. So there are like warnings that you get, like if you have a ball that's hit to you, like say if I'm in like right field and it's like a ball that's like kind of hit kind of shallow where you could let it drop or you can dive, and like you obviously make that choice if you want to dive for it, if you would just want to like hang back and let it
You
drop.
always dive for it, no matter what.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was like 90% of the time when I see that I'm like dive.
Yay!
But no, I've done that. I did a second baseman that I kind of modeled after Pedroia, um, because I want to see him return. And I was like, I don't think it's gonna happen. So trying to bring back.
Right.
I know we have to quick say a prayer for Justin Pedroia and his awful knee that we can thank Manny Machado for screwing up.
Yeah. And I'm saying we get right into the
Yeah,
meat and potatoes of this episode.
yeah,
What are you thinking? All right. Let's see. Now, my list, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but those are the top 25 or 24 individuals where I
yeah.
based mine off of 6 analytic standpoints: WAR, batting average, slugging percentage, putouts, fielding percentage, and stolen base. Ari, how did you do your list? No, put it away. Not yet. Not yet. Put it away.
No, but it's like in notes. And it's like this player, this player, and then actually I have a line where it's the halfway mark, where it's like we're safe, and then everything below here it's like a crapshoot. We don't know.
So we are going to have a lot of controversy, a lot of debate on this episode, just because we're coming from two different standpoints. I'm coming from analytics because in my heart, the numbers never lie. And for Ari, he's going more on opinions on which player he goes more on the eye test on who he likes. That sound about right?
Yeah, that's
All right.
you nailed it. I'm just gonna take a swig.
Let's take a swig. All right. Without further ado, let's get into our top 20. I'm going to start it off with you because I'm interested. Who do you got as number 20 on your list?
I have Marcelo Ozuna.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, this was thrown together. So my from 20 to like 10, it's my last three. I'm not really happy with. I have Marcelo Ozuna. Obviously, like he was a great power hitter and just a great all around hitter in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm. I have him for this year. I have Ozuna at a 241 batting average, 472 slugging, the 98% fielding. Not bad.
I mean,
top 20 borderline, I would say, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's definitely someone I'd pick up in my franchise.
Mm-hmm.
If you do franchises, I don't know.
Yeah, if I had to go top 20, I put him basically around my top 25.
Mm-hmm.
So no real arguments from me. All right, and number 20 for me, I have a tie. All right, I got Royals Jorge Solar, who's
I have him at 19. Okay. All
right, don't spoil your list.
Okay, right. Soler and who else?
Your 20 and my 19 are the same. Solar, 3.6 WAR, a 265 guy, more of a power hitter at a 569 slugging percentage, but not bad in the field either. And my other 20, I had to put him in, but it's hard to say. He doesn't have a team right now. Yasiel Puig, I know he's been traded around a lot, but I mean, a 267 batting average, 475 slugging, 97.7% from the field, and 19 stolen bases, while still having to figure out his situation with being traded last year. Not that bad, in my opinion. Still definitely deserves a spot on a team. Probably won't get the starting spot anywhere because of his age, but I can see him going to a team and being that guy that plays 95 games a year and just as a backup for each of the three outfield positions. Where would you put him on your list? Probably like 25, 30?
Oh, yeah, somewhere? Probably. Yeah, if my list went lower than 20.
Okay, so you said you have Jorge Solar at 19?
Yeah. I mean, basically you and I have it like similar. I mostly have him at 19. Better because he has like more pop to his bat than Ozuna. Ozuna's got great power, but yeah, that's who I have.
Yeah, no, he definitely has more pop. The thing that we kind of put like a little asterisk around him is he is more of a DH, but we decided to put him in just because he does play most of his time in the outfield when he is not a DH. He only had 97 putouts last year, so he only played a little bit of time out there, but we decided to put him in. My 19, I have Ramon Laureano from Oakland. And for him, same WAR Soler, but a little bit more of a contact hitter. Not as good slugging, but a much better batting average. And when I'm looking at an outfielder, the outfielder range is definitely diverse, but he's more of a guy that can get on base for you and has a little bit of speed with 13 steals compared to Soler's 3.
Yeah, and I think that Laureano is more of a leadoff hitter, like you said, mostly contact. He's got a little speed. But yeah.
I mean, 13 steals is nothing crazy, but it's still something as a pitcher you got to be like, this guy could possibly take off.
Yeah, it's nothing to sneeze at. It's it's something. It's more, like you said, more than Soler's 3 or whatever it was.
Absolutely. All right, who do you have at 18?
I have Starling Marte.
Starling Marte.
Yeah. And my reason is...
Oh, God. Explain yourself. Explain yourself.
He's he's been all over. Like the whole situation with him in Pittsburgh didn't work out. Which was too bad because I really think that Bobby's not having it. um I like him as a hitter. I don't know. I can't off the top of my head. I don't think he's a real power. I mean, he's a power threat, but he's not as much as these bigger sluggers like Soler and Ozuna. But he's there. He's my whatever it was, 18.
He has a much higher slugging percentage than Ozuna.
Well, I guess that's why.
Ozuna's a 472, Marte's a 503. But where is he? Where's Marte? Yeah, he is definitely a better hitter than Ozuna, but you got me there with Soler. He is a worse hitter than Soler.
Well, he's not a worse hitter. He's a worse contact hitter.
No, he's better contact hitter, worse power.
I mean, Soler is a worse contact hitter. That's what I mean. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah.
All right. At 18, I had Victor Robles out of Washington. Young buck out there, so we don't really know what he can do yet. But with a 4.1 WAR and being a 984 fielding guy with 28 stolen bases, I had to respect the speed.
Yeah.
And like I said,
sure.
I'm looking everything from April of 2019 to November of 2019. Anything before or future ain't coming up on my list. It's just, what did you do last year and how am I going to rank you after that? And even being a young buck out of there, he still put up really good numbers. 255, 419. Like I said, not really good hitter yet. Those numbers aren't terrible though. But that 984 fielding percentage in those 28 stolen bases while still playing 152 games, I'll definitely take. And if I'm starting a franchise, I'd probably put him above some of these other guys just because of the age. But basing off of just what he did last season, I have him 18.
And his potential too. I mean, like when I think of Victor Robles, I immediately see Ozzie Albies. I don't know why, but he's like similar in like Bill was a baseball player, I guess. That's kind of where I see.
And he can definitely take this team far because this national team definitely overachieved for last year. But he can definitely lead this team up to that next level and still compete for that championship next year.
Yeah.
All right, who you got 17?
17, I have Ender Inciarte.
Ender Inciarte. Wow. Okay. He didn't even make my top 25.
Wow. So the reason why I have him is he's kind of similar in build as who did you say? Victor Robles? Not really. I mean, like similar in build, like his age is he's obviously way older than Robles, but he's more of a contact hitter.
Let me explain my 17 guy.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
And look up some numbers on him on your phone while I'm saying that. All right, but number 17, I got Stanton.
That's not even that's not even worth a response.
He only played 18 games last year.
Yes, because he was hurt. That entire team was walking on crutches to the postseason. They were hobbling.
Yes.
I was surprised I thought they had a gurney, and I was like,
but I need him to prove to me that he's worth higher than 17. All right, because only 18 games played, a 938 fielding percentage, 288 and a 492 is nothing terrible. But if you look at him versus a guy like Soler, who had a 569, and we expect Stanton to be this power guy. That power wasn't necessarily all there last year, and I just need to see more. Obviously, if he comes back with a healthy season where he plays over 120, 130 games, and he puts up decent numbers, he's jumping right back up that list. But as of right now, only playing 18 games, that's only 18 games I can judge. So I can't.
It's a small sample size.
I'm going 17 out of respect because he's definitely proven that he is a top. So this was one of the rare cases where I did have a little bit of past knowledge in there.
And you kind of had that. You have to have that because no one's going to judge you on a season by 18 games. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like we're going to
Exactly.
judge it more on like 130 or whatever, how many you play.
Yep.
NCRT stats. Last year, 246 batting average, um, .6 WAR, 5 home runs, 49 hits. I don't know if that. I'm just looking at BaseballReference.com.
Give me a slugging. Just slugging looking like.
19. Come on. Why are you being slugging for 19 was 397. Does that sound right? Yeah.
What
Yeah.
this?
OBP was 740.
Okay. I don't agree with it.
Like I said,
None of the guys on my list besides Stanton have a WAR under 1.
yeah.
And the only reason Stanton is so low is because obviously injured.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. What were you going to say?
All right, let's keep going. Who you got at 16?
16 at Byron Buxton. That man can fly in the outfield. And this is kind of, I mean, he's just started, and I feel bad. He's kind of an older player. He's starting to kind of emerge offensively a little bit, but he's a phenomenal outfielder. His speed definitely speaks for itself. That's where I have him, I guess.
For me, this is kind of controversial because based on his position, he played everywhere. But Whit Merrifield is coming in at my 16. 3.7 WAR, 3.02 batting average. I mean, when you're hitting above 300, you deserve a spot in the top 20. Unless your fielding is absolutely atrocious, you deserve a spot. Wasn't that much of a slugging hitter, but a 99 almost percent fielding percentage and 20 stolen bases. You know, that's still a really good outfielder. Can still get it done at the plate with the contact hitting. Can get it done defensively. Makes very little mistakes. And with 20 steals, and played a full 162 games last year. I couldn't say no.
I have Ramon Laureano.
Ramon Laureano. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
My
like
20,
you like
my 19, you're 15. It's
yeah,
not
you
terrible.
you can go back and read his stats or whatever, like you
Mhm.
said before.
Yeah, definitely a solid guy. I am not mad about you having top 15.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing at all. My next two come with an asterisk next to them.
It's an
No.
Astro.
Yeah, the next two are my Astros.
Okay.
Now they
Okay.
had great seasons, but we can't tell how good they're going to be next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Who do you
Because
have?
if their batting, their average and their slugging percentage are through the roof, but
Well, it's because they had the cameras.
yeah, the only stats I could take seriously were your fielding percentage and your stolen base. So
Yeah.
at number 15, I have George Springer. 6.4 WAR, 292 batting, 591 slugging. Great numbers. Don't know how much of that is from cheating, but still a 99.1% fielding percentage and 6 stolen bases. I still have to throw him up there in my top 15, but we'll not really know until we see a sample size of him this year and see how much those numbers drop, because those numbers are dropping.
Yeah. Next at my whatever. What is this now?
Did you say you're fit? Yeah, you're 14.
Yeah, 14. I have Jackie Bradley Jr., Bobby's guy. Now, before you harass me, the reason why I like Jackie Bradley Jr. is because his WAR 1.9. Bobby has left the chat. Batting average 225, not great. 21 home runs. Yeah. What are we going by? On base percentage? No. Slugging.
That's slugging.
421. Yeah. Not great. I mean,
Give me the fielding stats.
fielding
And the
stats.
stolen base in. So he was a 987 guy, which fits in with my top guys on where that is, but and you can't put I didn't you know how much I love JBJ.
Yeah, I know.
I just bought a baseball card off him off of Amazon last week. Still waiting for it to show up, but I love the guy. He's not near top 25. To be in a top 25, you need to be at least a two-way guy, or you need to be a speedster and an amazing outfielder.
His fielding speaks for itself, and over the past couple years, his power has kind of emerged a little bit more. So that's, I don't know. It, like I said, from 15 to 20, it's just kind of a whole mess of names that I kind of just threw together. Honestly, I'm really more I'm really 10 and up is where we get serious.
All right, 14. I had Yoran Alvarez, another Astro, 3.7.
Oh, the guy that hit the ball into the way up into the, yeah, okay, that guy.
313, 655 slugging. So we know he has power.
Yeah,
got a lot of power. But like I said, I had to bring it back because we don't know. And then where is it? A 91% fielding rate isn't the best either.
Mm-hmm.
But
you said, he's kind of more of a sore layer.
He only had 9 putouts though, so I can't really. He had 9 putouts, 1 error, or 9 putouts, 2 errors. So I can't really. He only played 87 games.
He also was competing for a spot, fielding wise, with Michael Brantley.
Yep.
So Michael Brantley's a more superior fielder, I think.
He's probably going to make his way to the DH spot if those numbers continue. Do I think he can still be a 300 guy? I'd say more of a 290. Do I think he could still be above a 550 slugging percentage? Absolutely. 655 slugging, you got to have some raw power to do that.
Yeah, so that guy can mash.
All right, who's your 14?
Kevin Pillar. And the reason being, this is just from what I'm seeing, okay? From my perspective as just listening and watching, okay, well, I'll just talk to you guys because you guys are the only, I don't think you guys are going to leave. His bats emerged more the past couple seasons, specifically in San Francisco. Feels weird talking to nobody. I just told them, he hasn't put his earbuds in. I just told them that his bat emerged more in San Francisco. Move on. We gotta wrap this up. We're taking too long. Go ahead, Bobby. Who do you have?
I didn't think I had to leave the room that early. Your list is a joke.
Yes. From 15 to 20, it's a complete crapshoot.
That was 14.
Or whatever it says. 10. I'm sorry, 10.
All right. 13.
Okay.
I have Bryce Harper.
Wow.
Nowhere near worth the money. Nowhere near worth the money. You can't say anything. You know he's nowhere near worth that money. 4.3 WAR, 260 batting average. When I'm paying a guy max money, I want him to bat a little more than 260 and a 510 slugging. When my guy who I had 20th has a much higher slugging percentage than him. And then where is it? Not a bad fielder, 98.3%. I'll give him that. He's still a really, really good fielder. And 15 stolen bases to his name. He's got speed where you cannot count him out. But his batting stats are so overrated. He's never been above like a 270 guy. And I can't pay a guy, what did he get, $400 some odd million to bat 260 in his prime. It's only going to get worse from there.
Are you done?
Yes.
All right. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah. After that, my 12th one is
You didn't say
Lorenzo
your 13.
Cain.
You didn't
13?
say 13. Yeah.
Yeah. I said Pilar.
No, that was your 14.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Well, I might not have 20.
All right.
I'm looking up backwards.
Count back. Who do you have as your 13?
That's 10. Pilar.
Pilar? Okay. All right, that's fine.
Yes.
Who's your number 12 then?
Number 12 is Lorenzo Cain.
I can't believe we have Pilar and Harper on the same level. That's we
Now, when
just
I
lost.
talk about Harper,
We just lost
you
about
better
4 of
you
6
you
subscribers.
best be sitting down and you better. I want you to be quiet and you just listen to me. Yeah. Okay. Back to Cain.
You actually have him in your top 20? I didn't think you would.
Lorenzo Cain
Okay.
is a good fielder. He's old, but yeah, he's a good fielder. He can hit. Yeah, that's all I got.
I'm not terribly mad at that. He did make my top 25, Lorenzo Cain. I'm not horribly mad at it, but I think 12 is a bit of a reach, but it's not
Yeah,
bad.
for his
12,
age.
12, I got the race kid, Austin Meadows. All right.
Okay.
He's got a 4 WAR, 291 batting average, a 558. He's got some pop to his bat. Where is it? A 98.7 fielding percentage. You cannot sleep on this guy when it comes to the field, and 12 stolen bases.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me a lot of Whit Merrifield. A little bit, like, lower rating, I'd say, but
I mean, you look at those guys, and yeah, Whit Merrifield's just like a slightly better version.
yeah.
Well, no, slightly worse in some areas, but they're basically the same player.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of trades on MLB franchise for MLB 20 where they've traded those guys. Those guys kind of have
Really?
swapped. I've been like,
Wow.
Okay. All right. I don't know.
Who you got for your 11?
Charlie Blackmon. I'm not super sold on Charlie Blackmon just because I haven't seen a ton of seen a ton of videos. I'm not a Rockies fan. I haven't, National League. It's way over there. But so, yeah, he can field. I think he's a pretty well-rounded hitter.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit of speed, if I can remember correctly. A little bit.
For Blackmon, he only has 2 stolen bases, but
okay, nope, no speed at all.
For my 11,
yeah,
your guy, I think you put at 18 or somewhere around there, Starling Marte.
All right. Okay.
All right, Marte.
Yeah, he has to go higher.
Marte put up a 2.9 WAR, a 295 batting average with a 503, so he's got a little bit of pop to him, with still being a 98.4% fielding rating and 25 stolen bases.
Yeah. Looking back at my list here,
you did a lot of things wrong.
No, there are like 3 or 4 that I could just take. Like the top half is fine, and if I just took this down and shoved it way down into a black hole, not that those players are bad. I just didn't really think it through, honestly.
Okay. We'll have better lists. Even me too. We'll have better lists. Yeah. Our next video we're coming out with, hopefully next week if we can find some time to film, we're gonna do third baseman.
Yeah,
and we're both being more ready for that one.
Way more. All
right.
This was thrown together soon.
Top 10 for me, Charlie Blackmon is my 10th. So we can agree.
All right,
He's borderline top 10 player.
Yeah.
Top 10 outfielder. Where do I have him on here? 2.1 WAR, but a 314 hitter with a 576 slugging percentage, with still being a 98.3% fielder. He's got that two-way ability where I can trust him at bat, and I can still trust him in the field where I know I won't have to sub in a pitch hitter or substitute in the field anytime throughout the game.
Yeah.
Let's still 140 games, by the way.
Yeah.
And who's 10?
I have George Springer. Just looking over the past couple years, and I understand like the whole sign stealing thing's a little funky, but he's there.
With the stats I gave for him, if there was no scandals or anything, he would probably be like 7 for me. But like I said, we just don't know. We just can't. All right. Number 9.
Who do you got?
I have his name. It's Ketel Marte. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, Ketel Marte. Yeah. The speedster.
Kid off the dime. Please tell me you have him on your list.
Like I said, I'm going to do better in this list next time. I swear. I swear.
He had a
Yeah.
7.2 WAR, Ari. Third on my list, a 7.2, 329 batting average, 592 slugging. This kid's got pop. All
I
right,
mean, there's no. He was an
994
all-star last year, and I completely because
fielding
it's funny.
percentage.
It was funny because I was looking at the all-star roster and I saw his name. I was like, who in the world is this guy? And I kind of looked at him and I was like, okay. And then last year he really kind of emerged, so that's good.
Mm-hmm. But those numbers, and with 10 stolen base top of that, was still only missing 18 games throughout the year. Definitely worth a top 9 mention for me.
Yeah, I have Aaron Judge, and I understand that he's in a small ballpark, and he's a Yankee, whatever that means. And as all I'm gonna say is, I think that he, as good of a hitter as he is, I wish, and it's hard for me to say because I'm a Red Sox fan. I wish he could be more clutch.
Yeah.
Like if you look at his postseason stats, they're not atrocious, but they're not great. And especially with if you compare his regular season to his postseason, they don't match. And I think he would go up higher on my list when he can do that. Perform in the postseason.
Yep. Speaking of, I have him as my number 8, so we can agree there.
Yeah.
5.5 WAR, 540 slugging percentage, which is a lot worse than some of the guys we've seen on this list. And fielding percentage of 1,000, though. He only played 102 games, but with getting 177 chances to get outs and getting 177 putouts, I respect it.
Yep.
So then, what are we at now? Number 8 for you. That was my number 8.
Hey, strap on your seatbelt, Bobby. I have Bryce Harper, and let me explain why.
I got my feet kicked up.
You're ready to go. The reason why I have Bryce Harper at number 8 is because that kid is. I can't call him a kid because he's older than me.
28, 28.
Yeah, he's still pretty young. Okay, that gives him more of a threshold to grow. First of all, second of all, he is, I think, one of the very few guys. He's kind of polar opposite in some ways to Judge. In some ways, Bryce Harper he hasn't seen much of the postseason. And hopefully he will when Phillies make it, hopefully. Because I like the Phillies' chances and stuff. But that guy, when you need a hit, when you need a big hit, he gets it. Plus, I get it. He's kind of a wacko. He's kind of a character. But I think that, so is Puig. But that's all I'm going to say. I really like him as a fielder. I don't agree with how much money he's being paid. I think we can both agree on that. That is an exorbitant amount of money for someone who you could start a franchise with, but that's nowhere near that money, I don't think.
Yeah. Let me tell you, if you put this, if you take these numbers and put them up to a 280 and a 540, he's in my top 10, maybe even.
And he didn't hit well. He did not play well last year. He played decently, but he did not play as much as he is being paid, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. And I still can't believe you have Ketel Martin under him.
Like I said, this list was thrown together. All right, who do you have?
What number are we at now?
I'm at 7.
You were at 7. That was your 7?
No, that was my 8. What's your 7?
Okay. My 7 is Juan Soto.
Why? Explain. Hurry up. We don't got much time. You explain me.
We got plenty of time. 4.6 WAR, 282 batting average, a 548 slugging percentage, with was 99.3% fielding with 12 stolen bases, playing 150 games. You compare that to your boy Harper, he is a better average hitter. He is a better slugging hitter. He is better in the field and is just slightly worse at stealing bases.
He is. I think just based off of his age, that the Nationals gambled with letting Harper go. I mean, like we said, Harper wanted us like a ton of money, but they have a way better, well-rounded player, I think, in Juan Soto. I like Bryce Harper a lot, but Juan Soto is just something else. He's on a different planet.
They definitely made a right choice there. And this I could see moving Juan Soto up one more spot for me. Because
You have him way too low, my friend.
I'd be willing to go one spot higher. That's it. That's where I caught my mind. But was this 3? I'd have him maybe 6. But you'll see why I have my 6 as it is.
My 6 is JD Martinez.
We can agree.
Yeah. So JD Martinez is.
Wait, who'd you have as your 7? I forget.
Harper.
Oh, yep. Sorry.
But Martinez is. He's insane. And the thing that's funny is when I think of JD Martinez, I immediately thought when the Red Sox signed him, I was like, oh, great, we're going to get another amazing power hitter. Yes. But he doesn't just do that. He's a player who can, if you need a hit, we saw it in the regular season. We've seen it in the postseason. We've seen it in the World Series. Even though he didn't do much in the World Series, he gets the job done. And
he's rocking a 304 batting average.
He's insane.
Power.
I love that guy.
Mm-hmm. And along with that, he didn't get a lot of chances in the field, but still posting up a 90% fielding percentage just because he's more of a DH and plays in the AL.
And especially since you have that outfield with Benintendi, who can play. And he didn't make my list because he's not as good of a hitter, obviously, as Martinez, but he's a better fielder, I think, than Martinez. Martinez is good, but that's where I think that's where his one weakness is a little bit. He doesn't have much weaknesses. He doesn't have many kinks in his armor, but that's the one I think for him.
All right.
Who do you have at 5?
In the top 5, and you're probably gonna not like me for this. I got Mookie 5th. I got Mookie 5th.
Explain yourself.
I even have his teammate above him. I got. If you look at it, where is he? Where do I have him on here?
You have Andrew Benintendi.
What?
Who do you have above him?
Well, you'll find out if you don't know his teammate now. 6.9 WAR, 295, 524 slugging, 99% fielding percentage. This top 5 was hard because you had your top 5 here, and then you had the rest of the stack here. Yeah. In my opinion, there was a definite bump. So I can't until you let me say the stats of the other guys on this list. I can't make my point totally clear. But he's definitely a top 5 outfielder, no doubt. Definitely worth a max contract, in my opinion.
So,
all right, who's your 5?
You mentioned Mookie Betts' teammate Cody Bellinger. Yeah, that's who I have for number 5. Number 5, he's a crazy hitter. He kind of reminds me. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's his face. He reminds me of Ted Williams. If you look at a picture with Cody Bellinger and Ted Williams, and you look at them, and you're like, it's the same guy, just a little bit older. Yeah. You can look at his numbers. Bobby, you said his numbers. He's insane.
I didn't yet, but
okay, well, say it.
He is my number 4.
Okay, all right, cool.
The reason I have him so high, 9.1 WAR, highest among all outfielders. 305 batting, 629 slugging, and a 98.8 fielding rating with 15 stolen bases, only missing 6 games throughout the year. This is the definition of a 5-tool outfielder.
Yeah.
He's not everything. I don't see a weakness in his game. I don't.
Maybe his speed? I don't know.
I still say his speed is formidable. Like 15.
It's not terrible.
you still got to look over and say, hey, maybe he's going to steal one.
Yeah.
When he's still getting one stolen base every 10 games he plays, it's still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
All right, we get to
Yeah.
numero cuatro.
Juan Soto. And I have Juan Soto because of what he did in the World Series and what he did in the postseason. He was insane. He had some crazy hits that would, if he did not get those hits, the Nationals would not have continued onto their World Series run. So that's why I have him at number 4. Or 4? Yeah, 4.
You're gonna miss one guy that's in my top 3.
Okay.
And he's not even going to be on your list. And I'm going to fly to Maine to slap you once
Okay,
this
who
is
is it?
all over.
Who is it?
Number 3, Ronald Acuna Jr.
He's my number 4.
You just said
Sorry, 3. He's my number 3. No, wait. What is he?
you had to mess up your list.
He's my
because
5. He's my 5. He's my 5. I messed this up. I'm so sorry.
Okay, just go from
I
7.
have Bellinger, Soto, Acuna.
As what numbers?
Bellinger being
5.
no, Bellinger being 7, Soto being 6, Acuna being 5.
Or you messed this up.
Wait a second. Hold on. I can't see words. Acuna is my 4.
Acuna is your 4.
Acuna
Bellinger
is my 4.
Bellinger's your 5.
Bellinger is my 5. Nope, Bellinger is my 6th. Soto is my 5.
Okay, we got that
Right.
figured out. So Cunha is your 4, and he's my 3. And like I said, if you would have had him off your list, we would have had issues.
Oh no, that's one of the first people I put on. I was like, "You're going on."
Yep. 5.7 WAR, 280, 518. Not that much of a power hitter, but a 99.1% fielding rating and 37 stolen bases. He's not necessarily a 5-2 player, and you could definitely swap him and Bellinger, in my opinion. But on my list, at least. But 3-tool, stud, young outfielder.
Who do you have?
That was my 3. Who's your 3?
My 3 is Christian Yelich. And I understand because he got hurt and all, but I still don't understand why the Mariners had to trade him.
You mean the Marlins?
Marlins. That. Yeah.
Don't
Sorry,
worry.
I'm tired. My coffee's wearing off. Yeah. That's what I got.
All right. So
He's very similar to Betts, but I believe Betts is a better hitter.
all right. So your 2 guys that you haven't mentioned are Betts and Trout. And I'm gonna assume you have Betts 2, Trout 1.
Yep. Who do you have?
That's my 2.
Those are you?
Trout's
Those
my
are your
number 2. Nope, Trout is my number 2.
Okay.
And my best outfielder right now is Christian Yelich.
I can see that.
If
No. I can't see that, actually. That doesn't make any sense
This
to
and
me.
compare the stats, Trout has 1 more win for his team in his WAR for 7 to 8. But listen,
Okay.
Yelich is a better hitter by far, 329 to 291. Yelich is better slugger by far, 671 to 475. Trout is a better fielder slightly from a 987 to a 983, and Yelich is so much faster, 30 stolen bases to Mike Trout's 11 when Mike Trout played 4 more games than him.
You're looking at 2019
Yes.
only. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm looking, and this is where our lists differ, where I'm looking at the past 2 or 3 years. So yeah.
Which I mean, in my opinion, if I'm looking at the greatest players ever, and I do this a lot with the NBA, is if I'm looking at the greatest players in the league right now, I'm looking at what you did recently. And I'm going to give you more time if you were injured, obviously. But for like LeBron, I'm basing him off of his last season. For all these guys, I'm basing them off of what's the most recent thing. And if it wasn't great, then you got to come back the next games and prove to everyone you're still the number one. So he can definitely come back and have a stellar season and prove he's on top again. But in my opinion, and the numbers never lie, Yelich is one.
So here's why I have 2-1, and then we got one more thing to do.
Oh, we got one more
So
thing?
yeah, we got one more thing. We got to answer questions because
Oh, I
some
forgot
people
about
ask questions. I believe, and I think we've talked about this before when Mookie Betts was traded to the Dodgers. First of all, Mike Trout is. I hold him with Ken Griffey Jr. in like that legendary. He gets that seat in the audience, and someone who, like we said before, I think we've talked about, Mookie Betts is someone who is going to be good for a long, long time. I think if something doesn't drastically happen.
Mm-hmm.
And he reminds me of Trout. I believe he's younger than Trout. I think he's younger than Trout. Yeah. Younger than Trout. Trout just, I think he's probably the best. I mean, I understand his numbers don't show. If you look at the past couple of seasons, he's a great hitter, great defender. There's no reason why I would put, I don't think I would ever put any of these guys over Trout. And that's just my opinion, if we're looking over the past couple of years. And I understand Trout didn't have a good year last year.
No, he had a great year last year.
I mean, not as good as some other people.
Yelich had better. You know, his season, though, superb. Generational talent. Hall of Famer easily if he were to retire today.
Yeah. So I think that concludes our list.
So what I want to do is, for those of you who don't know, I'm the one in charge of editing. Ari does more of the Instagram stuff. I'm going to cut out our faces now. My list is going to be on the left. Ari's list is going to be on the right. I have crossed out Kevin Pillar off the list, so don't worry. You see a just black mark there. But these are our two lists. Comment down below what you think of them. Let me know what you guys think. Let's get into our last thing.
So, a couple weeks ago, I put out. It was like last week, something like that, or whatever it was. I can't remember. April 1st. So whenever that was. I put out a kind of a question sticker on our
Instagram page.
On the story, on the Instagram story, and I kind of want to get this. If you want to, like, please send us questions, responses.
Follow us on Instagram at Pesky.
Follow us on Instagram, please. If you do that, it'd be awesome. And we'll just if you have questions that you want answered, we'll definitely get to them, and we'll try to answer them as best we can. So we have two questions.
What I said, this was a great idea for us. We just didn't have the audience built up yet to get some questions. So we tried to ask a couple people, and the two people we had answer was one of our friends and my girlfriend. And my girlfriend's question, I did not in any way have any say of what she did. She did the research by herself.
As soon as I saw this, Bobby, I immediately DM'd him, and I was like, Bobby, did you tell her to do this? He's like, no, I swear I didn't. So, yeah. So her question, and I don't think we should say names.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we'll do that. Her question was, should a pitcher ever get the MVP award or just the Cy Young award? What do you think, Bobby?
In my opinion, no. We have that Cy Young award specifically for pitchers and for a guy, because let's look, MVP, most valuable player. Can you really be a most valuable player if at maximum you're only playing 1 out of every 5 games for your team?
True. But in my opinion, I think that most valuable player, okay? Yes, you're playing every 5 days, sometimes less than that if you're in the postseason or whatever. But I think that the Cy Young Award it's a major accomplishment in someone's career to get. But I think
Absolutely.
that the MVP, I don't think it's most valuable position player. I think that we could make an exception. With, I mean, I can see where you're coming from. I think that I could go either way. I think I could definitely hop on your side of the fence and say, yeah, no, if you're playing every 5 days,
Yeah,
you're
because
not really doing a ton for your team. You are doing something for your team, but it's not as much as these other players who are playing 162 or, at max 162 games.
yeah, like look at our MVPs from last year. If we
Yep.
look at Yelich, he played 130 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you any pitcher, if you're an ace and you don't get hurt throughout the year, the max you're playing is about 33 games.
But those 33 games could make a big difference in a
Absolutely,
team's.
no doubt. But
Yeah.
it's
But
not
you're
so
right.
much different.
I could hop on either side of the fence.
And I do see from where you're coming from is that a bat with the guys we were talking about, the most that they can do is they only get to bat 1 out of every 9 guys. They
Mm-hmm.
only get to field 1 out of every 9 plays on average.
Yeah.
It's more like 1 out of every 15. So I can get what you're saying. They're on those 5 days, the pitcher is doing the majority of the work. They're doing about
And yeah, and this doesn't count for in the award, but pitchers. A lot of people don't realize that players, when they're not playing, do a lot for their team. Like you see players like JD Martinez who pull people aside and like, yo, let's talk about helping you become a better hitter. Like that's someone who I think is very valuable to a team. Another person like that is Dustin Pedroia. And I'm not just saying these are Red Sox. They are Red Sox, but I'm not just saying it because they're Red Sox players.
yeah.
He was a pitching coach to Eduardo Rodriguez, and he found a new slider. And look what Erod's doing now. So
Absolutely.
I think that it could go either way. The next question was, what makes you qualified to have a podcast?
And this was from
Bobby,
one
what
of
do
my
you think?
friends, and I DM'd her back from the
Okay.
account or from my account. I can't remember which. And I said, end quote, absolutely nothing.
Yes, I was going to say that. Yeah, we have
Listen,
no qualifications. Anybody can do this if they want.
yeah, it's just look at her bio, right? I put down the bio. It's just 2 idiots that love the game of baseball and love to talk about it. And if you guys like what we're saying, you just listen along while you're doing your stuff. All right, we hope to provide some entertainment for you, some facts, and just some things for you to contemplate about baseball and give us some suggestions on what we want to do.
Yeah, definitely.
It's all audience participation. So even if we don't have any audience, Ari and I still love doing this. It's so much fun to do.
Yeah, we could talk hours and hours and hours about Red Sox.
Just about
and baseball.
Yeah. All right. With that being
So that's
said,
all I
you
got.
any last thoughts?
That's it.
All right. I'd say this is going to be a little bit of a longer episode, but no big deal. The next time we do it, we just got to make sure that we make our explanations a little bit shorter, or maybe we just do a top 15.
I'm kind of thinking that the 20, I like the idea of the 20, but I think we should kind of cut it to 15
and
just
plus,
for time's sake.
We were doing 3 positions in one here, so top 20 was valid. But I think from now on, we'll do top 15. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you did make it this far. We love you guys. Peace out.
See you guys.